Hello everyone and welcome back to Diaspora Talks with Tosinger on Afrovibes TV and radio. We have been talking to the very old soul but young salon brother, music producer, genius, talented, jazz keyboardist, sound engineer, producer, everything. And we have been, talking about his journey musically, his collaborations, why he's here in the US. And we're going to go deeper into, as we usually do on Diaspora Talks, talking about the African diaspora and the African continents. And you being from Sierra Leone, I was going to ask you, what was your first impression landing on American soil? Yes, we need to tell the people at home because you know how it is. Every African wants to travel.
Yeah.
You know the story. But tell us, what was your impression of America back home first before you came, and then when you eventually came?
Okay, so my first impression about America is that everybody's enjoying, everybody's having fun, everybody's chilling. But the reality is everybody's busy working, finding money. Everybody's focused.
That's true.
Everybody you cannot find people with leisure time. Which is new. Very strange for me, from an African perspective, because in Africa, even though we have 9 to 5ers, it's chilled.
Yes.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's tough. People are on the move.
You have bills to pay.
So what gave you the impression back home that everything was jolly before?
Well, I feel if we implement this kind of approach about life, we won't be suffering for long. Because you have to put in the hours. You have to put in the work in the hours you have to get what you want. Basically, that's what I learned by seeing people moving up and down, trying to go to work for him in the morning, come sleep for about 2 or 3 hours and go back to work. They're getting what they want, basically, economically.
Yeah, economically. But what forms the impression back home for an African who hasn't traveled out? Is it through the movies? How do we know?
I'm sure. Through the movies and people... Through internet, that's
true.
Just happy photos and all. But the disadvantageous part about it is you really don't have time to find yourself, know your purpose and know your vision, because you're always busy
chasing the
dollars to pay your bills, not to be kicked out of your house or blah blah blah. Whilst Africa, we have the time to find ourselves, but we're not really using it. So I feel if we're home, we're not here, we need to find ourselves. So when we come here, we will become something in the system than be in the system and you're nothing.
Having said that, the factor of time, because that's what I was able to get from what you just said. Why do you think, it's kind of like an obvious question and answer, but I still want to hear from you on your take on that. Why do you think Africans want to, in Nigeria we call it japa, they want to, everybody, because you know the story of, in those days, especially in those days, the whole story of the transatlantic trade, and they came to take us, but now we're coming willingly by air. They took us by boat, but now we're coming willingly by air. Why are we still coming?
Well,
and why do we so desire to come?
Truthfully, but sadly, we're suffering in Africa. Infrastructure-wise, opportunity-wise, education, health, and income-wise. You cannot, you raise the dollars and the leons or the naira, the difference is great.
That's true, the exchange rates are going off the roof right
job
now.
Opportunities also here. So I feel that's why people are coming here to survive, to make a living.
So it's more of an economic reason.
Escaping the suffering, to come here and find ways to make it.
Yeah, that's interesting because...
That's the sad part, because you can make it anywhere you are. It's just left with your mindset and how ready you are to put in the work.
That's true, mindset, because there are people that I know that some people know who have homes and lands and they're doing well back home.
Yeah.
And they will sell those real estates to come to America to start from scratch. They're already doing well back home.
The mindset.
mindset. Like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yeah.
None but ourselves can, do what? None but free our minds. So let's keep it moving, talking about Africa. What do you think about, what's your personal take on Afrobeats and how Afrobeats has blown, like putting attention on the continent and taking over? Because I was yesterday at a commercial space in Atlanta. I won't mention the name, but the Afrobeats music was playing. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, we become a staple now. What do you think about that?
Afrobeat has changed the face of Africa, especially Nigeria. Because growing up, I used to hear and I know and I've seen people acting to Nigerians as 419ers, as ritualists, as people who dupe you whenever you're around them. And that's the kind of image the whole world have been seeing about Nigeria. But for the past 10 years, Afrobeat has saved Africa, especially Nigeria. So now you can be proud anywhere to call yourself a Nigerian, and people will like, oh, you guys have the Afrobeat.
Yeah.
They will love you instead of be afraid of you now.
That's true.
Before, people used to be afraid of Nigerians. I knew back then just after the 10 years what we had in Sierra Leone, Nigerians used to come to Sierra Leone to get Sierra Leonean passports to travel because if they use their Nigerian passports, they will not give them visa or allow them in certain places. Yeah.
Wow.
But because of Afrobeat, all that perception changed. I feel that's the important thing about Afrobeat, not about spreading out there to let people dance and add to the beautiful genres out there. It's just the positive impact it gave Nigerians and West Africans in a whole.
And as a whole, wow. And even Africa as a whole too.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. So what do you think about African countries embracing, I call them our cousins, the African Americans here, who want to come back home to connect to their roots? I know Ghana opened their doors, and I think it was Kenya recently that also opened their doors and said, you know what, you don't need to get visa to come, just come home. What do you think? Do you think Black Americans should start going to Africa?
Well, one thing I want to say is Africa is realizing we're realizing our past mistakes and we're waking up. So if all hands go on deck, I think we can be great. We can be better than America. So I think everybody needs to go back home, because the thing that made here beautiful, I think it's just people coming here to help work. So we can go back home and help work. Everything is better than here. The weather, the land, the soil, everything is better here.
Yes.
We just need to go and change the mindset of people, and
I think it can happen. It's probably happening slowly, maybe through culture and arts, but it's going to happen eventually, even in the economic.
We're there.
We through arts we're there.
Through arts and entertainment.
We're there. So that's why our work, our role is very important, because we are cultural ambassadors, and that means if arts and entertainment is making some things happening, that means it's a very powerful tool that will get us there. And slowly but surely we will get there. It may take a while, but we'll get there. Especially, you know how it is with the political aspect of it.
That's the important thing that needs to change.
Yeah.
The moment that part changes, everything will be easy.
Wow. So what other African country have you visited?
I visited Nigeria and Senegal.
And which one would you like to leave, apart from, of course, where you're from?
Senegal.
Why? Why Senegal?
I don't know.
I've never been, but I heard it's beautiful.
I've been to Nigeria, but I felt more at home. Probably it's where I was living. I felt more at home in
It's calmer.
Calm. Well, not calmer per se. Maybe I enjoy French.
Okay. I think the cultural scene in Senegal is very rich.
Very rich.
And there's most African countries have beach,
and
but
I feel they embrace more of their culture than the Western tradition, but I don't see that in Nigeria that much.
Especially if you went to the city, you won't see that. If you went to Lagos and Abuja, you won't see that.
Yeah, but in Senegal, even in
the city, wow.
People are like, I like seeing Africans being Africans.
Being Africans. So you say that the Western influence is not as strong in Senegal as it is in
what I saw.
From what you saw?
Yeah.
Have you been to South Africa?
No.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So I think we've already touched on the fact that if there's an African immigrant coming here, what would you advise them?
Oh no.
Oh, that's my next question for you.
Okay, so firstly, you need to know what you want before leaving your home. You need to know why you're leaving.
Yes.
You need to be prepared. You need to have something to offer when coming here. If not, you're absolutely useless. You just find yourself doing odd job. The money might make sense because of how you've been living your life, but you will find yourself wasting your life, and you will stay 20 years, 30 years here, and you can still realize life. You can still realize change because you firstly don't know what's your mission in life, and you don't know what you're pursuing and what you want to pursue. So my advice for Africans living in Africa to come here is you need a goal. You don't need to like, oh, let me go and make money. No, that's not the point. The point about life is living legacy. Working towards something that your family will build on, not surviving.
Not surviving.
People only come here to survive.
So in their pursuit of survival, they might sometimes lose themselves.
They lose their vision totally.
Their purpose in life.
I just see people just doing things they are not meant to do. Just they want to leave. They want to impress others back home. I'm here in America.
So what can the balance be? How can you make money at the same time working your purpose?
Firstly, you have to find the purpose.
So it's always better to find your purpose before coming. That's what you're saying.
So you know what you're here for.
Okay. Okay. I think that's wise. I think that's wise. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you what your favorite African songs are. You can choose because I know you're more on the traditional side like me. You know, I think you already mentioned who your favorite African musicians are: the Hugh Masekelas, Richard Bona. But I'm gonna ask you to first of all sing one of your songs, and then sing a song from.
I'm not much of a singer.
You know. I'm the singer, right?
Yeah, you're the singer.
Yeah, but your setup is your keyboards and everything. So
and
that would be
box.
And you have a what?
Talk box. That's what I sing to.
Oh, it's called a talk box.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like
tell us about that.
Auto-tune before auto-tune.
The original auto-tune.
Yes.
What's your fascination with the talk box?
I forgot my lyrics most of the time.
You forget your what?
My lyrics.
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 Okay, you forget the lyrics. Oh, okay. So that helps.
I write my songs.
Okay.
I don't want to practice them. I don't want to hear them anymore.
Oh wow.
I don't know the melody. I just flow.
Okay.
So the talk box helps me to be free about
express
my songs because I have never remembered my lyrics even before when I was doing cover music.
Okay.
People was like, "Solo your line on this song." I'm like, I know. So because of that,
especially when you go do a known song that they know the lyrics
exactly.
of. Yeah.
So that's why I try to incorporate the talk box into my act because trust me, I cannot remember my songs. So
in using the talk box, you're masking with sounds though. You're still doing the melody.
Yes.
But you're
you can say some words.
You can say some words.
But now I have the liberty to say whatever I want to say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't demonstrate here because it's a whole setup.
Yeah.
So, but they can find you online.
Yeah.
You have videos of you performing.
Yeah.
With the talk box. But you can still sing. You remember the lyrics of your own song, right?
I remember.
Sing one or two lines from your song. One of your as an artist. I don't know if you have a favorite song that you did. But choose one of your songs and sing 2 lines for us.
Okay, this song break down. Let me tell you about a girl, no. It's my lady. I told you, it's
yeah.
She's my lady, but she never know things. But every time she used to come around, she make my eyes got lips to speak. This is wrong.
Nice. I like the group. Okay, even if you don't sing, you can hum. You can hum the melody of you have a favorite Afrobeat song?
Yeah, this one I'm vibing to this. I wanna believe.
I wanna believe. Okay, that's a good one.
It's something.
That's a good one.
Sometimes I used to tell my friends, you have to. So 2 things I used to tell them. There is no peace in the land of the living
There's no peace in the
land of the living.
Because there's no because. Why is there no peace in the land of the living?
You can be in your lane and you will just meet people that will just take you out of your comfort zone, either annoy you or life will just get crazy for you sometimes. Just the ups and downs. I used to tell them there is no peace in the land of the living. You have to be violent and stay violent.
Wow.
You only be at peace when you're dead.
Hey.
So most of the time when they want to bring you know what, the solos I used to buy I'm unavailable.
Okay, I like that. We have a Yoruba proverb. I've been into Yoruba proverbs lately that says Ojo Kulojo Simi, which is similar to what you just said. Like the day of death is like the day
you'll be at peace.
Like permanent. I mean, that's what they say, when people pass, we say rest in peace and all that. But I understand where you're coming from. So you don't want stress. So if you don't want stress, that's your go-to song to say you're unavailable.
If you come with your stress to me, I'll give you problems.
You're giving the energy they bring to you, you're giving it back. That's interesting. So we're rounding up. We're getting to the end of this wonderful tete-a-tete that I'm having with you. I'm enjoying it, but we have to round up shortly. But I want us to end on this note. Tell us what's the legacy of Solos Beats?
I've been thinking lately, now I'm a father of two girls, and the kids see their parents, especially their fathers, as God. They don't know worshiping, they don't know God, basically. So their father is like their protector. It happens. Papa, so happened. Papa, this. I'll report you to my father. That's how we treat God, basically. I want to be that man who always make them feel safe. And I see everybody behind me that is looking up to me to not feel in the music as them.
Wow.
Not only not my biological kids, but also they're part of the people I want to carry. Because whenever I walk, whatever I do, I don't think about myself. I don't think about even the audience. I think about how will I make them proud first. I want to dwell in this world and live this world and generations to know that I was here. That is my purpose, and that's what I want to do. That Solos Beat was here and this was his work, and with these patterns, this is what we're going to do to survive. So even if I don't make money, even if I don't leave anything for them, I want to leave generational wealth. That is the work I will do, and that is the work I'm doing.
Yes, so your work is your legacy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very, very powerful. And I'm also excited and honored to be working with you. We're working on upcoming song titled Suru, right?
Suru.
So I'm teaching you all the Yoruba that you haven't heard before. You're hearing them now. And where can we find you online? Your social media handles?
On YouTube, Solos Beat. On Instagram, Solos_beat, on Facebook, Solos Beat, on TikTok, Solos Beat, anywhere, Solos Beat.
That's awesome. Solos Beat is SOLO
*S BEAT space and BEAT.
Thank you so much for coming on this show. It was so enlightening talking with you. And I enjoyed our conversation, and I'm sure the people at home also enjoyed today's episode talking with Solos Beats. And this is Diaspora Talks with Tosinger on Afrovibes TV and radio. Remember that every diasporan has a story and every story is valid. I hope you join us on another time, another day on Diaspora Talks with Tosinger, and I am your host, Tosinger. Stay well.